had to tell me about this. I had no clue. I was doing it the whole time and
Right.
had no clue.
Right.
None.
Right.
I always have to be the last one to go into the restaurant.
You see what I'm saying?
Nobody can sit down
Mm-hmm.
until I get to the table because I got to sit down first
Mm-hmm.
because I have to pick the right spot to sit at.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got to be the first one to get up and leave because I got to make sure everything's okay for them to come out.
Right. Right.
I can't be in the mall longer than about 5 minutes. Then I'm looking like I'm ready to hurt somebody.
Right. Right.
And I did. Trust me. I was looking at my family like, what are y'all talking about? And it's
Right.
like, Dad, we need to go outside. I'm like, son, you didn't buy anything you wanted. We came here shopping. You didn't get nothing yet. We'll come back in, but we need to go outside first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They had to sit me down and explain to me what I was doing, what my facial expression was, where
Right.
you know, I didn't even know about it. I
Yeah.
was gone and didn't even realize it.
Right.
If it wasn't for the support of my family,
Right. Real
I
talk.
probably wouldn't be here talking to you because I'll probably be strapped up somewhere in somebody's hospital.
Brother, I know what you mean, but hey, you hitting that right there where it need to be hit because see that there's a connection, like you said. We deal with PTSD, uh, the things you go through, everything you describe. Man, I got the goosebumps now behind it because I know exactly what that means. Support of the family, brother.
Yeah.
Best that they can. Now you have a lot of veterans. Now a lot of veterans are divorced.
Yeah.
A lot of women cannot take the conditions of PT. It'll drive you into isolations. It'll drive you into the areas of anger, isolation in particular. You don't
Yeah.
want to deal with nobody, and then you kind of like when you start, especially if you see disrespect. Oh man, that drive me over the cliff. Uh, those are things that a lot of women cannot understand, or people who not just women, maybe some men who had never been in combat experiences or in the military, and they may be married to a woman or something like that may have had some form of combat. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that the system of support from your woman, and this goes into society because see, there's a direct connection.
Yes.
We're dealing with trauma. PTSD is trauma, and it's combat connected. You're dealing with it from the experiences that you've seen in combat. That's trauma
Mm-hmm.
that you can't never get rid of those sounds and those dreams and those thoughts. So now here's the thing. I often say that I believe a lot of people in our urban societies are suffering from a form of PTSD that's connected. It's just connected to improper masculinity at one level and improper femininity and lack of structure
Mm-hmm.
in the household because there was none.
Yes.
That
Yes.
these young men sometimes and women have to raise themselves, or they
Mm-hmm.
get around other people uh, who have been raising themselves and got on that were able to exist because of schemes and doing things inappropriately.
Right.
Pick up that characteristic of doing things inappropriately. Uh, if they come from that, and so there's a lot of trauma and psychological things inside of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so understanding that how important the support system is of the family, I have to understand that, okay, because of what Junior went through with me and his daddy when he was younger, as many times he said us fighting, or we have this going on, and I'm talking about the daddy, and we're arguing all the time. He wasn't able to express it as a child, but all of that is bottled up in.
Yes.
Now, when this stuff comes out, okay, you guys break up. Junior still got to raise. He got to live.
Mm-hmm.
Mama may take on another boyfriend. That don't work. May take on another boyfriend. That don't work. Junior seeing all of this stuff, so the respect for authority, male authority, gets lower,
It goes down.
lower,
Yes.
and lower, and it's all about mama now, and not understanding how important a real daddy is, a real
Mm-hmm.
man is. They're equally important. And in order to have the kind of balance you need in your life, you would hope that you would be able to experience a strong man and a strong woman, but that don't always happen.
No.
Your parents may not always be that. But that's what
Mm-hmm.
I mean by structure in the community, because there are other people inside. When I was younger, when I was a lot younger, even though there were winos, I used to have a lot of wine. We used to call them winos back. I lived up in in New Orleans. I'm from New
Yeah.
Orleans. This is the time I lived uptown. We were living uptown. So you had a lot of winos. But when we were young and you lacking structure, because like I said, my daddy was in and out. He was in and out. When he wasn't around, we up in the hood, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Winos would have a lot of knowledge. They would give you it wasn't no articulated. It's not about their articulation. It wasn't about that. It was about their life experiences they were telling to me as a young man. He said, "Man, I really there's something about you. There's something about you. Don't you ever do this. Don't do this. Don't." They were trying to persuade me not to go down the same destructive path they
Eggs.
went down.
Yes.
And that's the problem today. We don't have that. We got people that went that's on this destructive path, not telling people or not trying to persuade other people to
Not
not
to go down that path.
get them to go down that same destructive path.
They inviting them in to do it with them. It's like, dude,
And that's
no.
but what happened to that? What happened to even if they weren't like I'm saying a wino and people society would look at them like they have no value or nothing to offer. To
I
me,
think,
it did.
I think it's just a matter. See, back in it, and I know exactly what you're talking about, those winos. I had quite a few of them over in the block,
Right.
you know, and they will always come up to me and be like, look, don't go over there. Stay away from over there. You don't do that. Don't be like me. Don't do this. You
Right.
you need to stay right. You need to make the future of this block better. And
Right.
he used that words. I remember him to this day. He said you need to make the future of this block better. And I'm like, okay. But then it started hitting me. Why just this block? Why is he saying this block? Why
Right.
not
Right.
everywhere? Because I'm not always going to stay here. So how am I making that block better when I plan on leaving? And not because I hate it, because I know it was time to broaden my horizons,
Right.
you
Right.
know? And I really do believe to this day, that's why he said it that way. Because I think he saw that my mind was opening to the fact that he knew I was going to stay at the block.
Right.
But I will keep that concept.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter where I go, the world is my block. So
Right.
why can't I
Right.
be that better person?
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Great way of putting that. The
And
work.
and that's how I take it now. So no matter what I do, it's like my kids growing up, dude. I opened my house up to all their friends. It seems like I had 2,000 kids. Every time I turn around, I always had a car full of my son's friends. Take them to play airsoft. Take them over here. I say, hey, you want to do this? Get your friends. We'll go. And a lot of them didn't have that role model. Single parent home, had issues, had behavioral issues,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And it's funny that now that they're all grown, they come to my house and they don't treat me as an equal, but they'll say, I'm young, I'm cool, because they give me that respect.
Right.
And anytime they need some, and a lot of them will actually call me before they call their own family,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't, trust me, my goal was not to take them away from their family,
Sure.
but
Sure.
to be there as a mentor to do right. And a lot of them has really come up and done things, and they are settled versus where they could have been, because where I saw them where they were going.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So now I see myself as that wino, but without being the wino part.
Right. Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
I took what he gave me,
Right.
and I'm the same, but I'm not drunk. I just
Mhm.
give that wisdom now because I see it. And this is the challenge we were saying earlier. Hey, all those listening to this, I challenge you. If you got wisdom for the positive side, grab somebody. Just
Right.
sit and talk to them. Don't give me that excuse. They're not gonna listen no way. You don't know that.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Just say it.
Right. Right.
Just say it. What
Right.
is it gonna hurt you? Or why am I gonna waste my breath? It ain't like you're gonna run out of it.
Right. Right. That's right.
Just say it.
Right. And you know what? That's the greatest point. You see, that's the greatest understanding because I hear a lot of people talk. A lot of people do a lot of hefty talking and
Yeah.
in the way of putting yourself in the way of service and sacrifice. They lack that. And I think it's more about agenda and political agenda more than anything, to try to make themselves seem as though they're being more effective to the community than they really are. And this is what I always say, I look at a person's life because a mouth can say anything. A mouth can
Right.
talk like you wouldn't believe, brother, and they can dress it up. It can sound educated. And the first thing they're going to say, I graduated from this guy. I graduated from that. That don't mean a doggone thing to nobody,
Nothing.
even though I got 2 degrees myself. But that's the last thing I'm going to talk about because a degree ain't fixing the problems we got in our communities today. What's going
Okay.
to fix it is being real and understanding what a man is and what a woman is and what responsibility and structure is all about. So
Yes.
when one of the things that I as another form of resolution as men, black men, or minority men, whatever our nationality is, we understand the structure of what's going on because we all get treated the same. Oh, when you one step at a time, one person at a time,
Yes.
it's more effective than you talking about, look what you've done. Oh, I've done this, I've done that. And here you can't even walk in, you don't even live in your neighborhood. Don't. You don't even, some of the things that they're talking about are more destructive than that than healing. And when I talk
Yes.
about healing, here's another example, because like you said, your son's friends. See, your first contact with construction and structure or your family, your children. That's
Yes.
first. Number one. If for whatever reason they don't really have respect for you, then 9 times out of 10, the method of your operations somewhere is broken as well, because they don't even respect you. So
Right.
it's senseless in their eyes when they see you try to go out there, so-called, say you're doing something for your community. You never did nothing for them. But what you said, we're gonna give them some healing right now. For those brothers that fall in that category, listen up very well, because what you said made the most sense and it's the most positive. Your sons had friends. Not only are we trying to teach our sons and daughters how to be real men and women, but how to come up under structure and how to have true character. But when they go out and associate with other friends, and they may come to the house, you're able to identify those who need too. I was
Exactly.
always able to see the young boys who didn't have no real strong male leadership in their life. Love to come over here with my sons,
Oh yeah.
And one of the things that they knew, they knew that they had a father in the house. Not only a father, they had a man in the house. He was a man. He wasn't one that was going to talk, softly to you. He was going to try
Right.
to correct you if you were wrong. He wasn't going to just let you do anything. And that produced a little structure. So when they come over, hi, Mr. Williams, hi, Miss Williams. That's good. It ain't no what's up.
Yeah.
What's up?
No.
No, you don't know what's up. You don't pay no bills up in there. You see, but that if you allow those that's why some of the young youth today cannot even socially hold a meaningful conversation with you where they can't look you in the eye. They don't want a firm handshake like a man. We talk about that. A lot of this is misguided. And because it's misguided, what's coming out of these young men are the baser things are coming out, as opposed to the more intellectual things that could be taught just from being a sound man living by structure. So How important is it for men who say, okay, I raise my
Mhm.
families. I do the best I can. I'm accountable. I put structure. How important is it for those type of men to be involved at the best they can with young men and women who come from brokenness, who don't have that? Because just like you say, the young men that you did do that with, they come back with you to you today. And that's their way of saying thank you.
Hey,
Thank you,
to
man. You know
this
what I'm saying?
day,
And that's also a way of showing you that that method of interaction was effective. How important is that concept? Just a few people at a time, as opposed to saying, I'm about to heal the world and put a lot of rhetoric out there and entertain everybody. What do you think is more?
you know, and to put more to that, a real man needs to know